one room, everybody. Like when they have a fire here and they put everybody together
How long
for
was
one night, and that's how it was for 2 years. You know.
Did they put curtains between people or nothing?
Sometimes the married couples put a curtain. You know, they made it up.
Yeah.
You know, they made up a curtain from a sheet or something, or privacy. But anyway, I saw this Rosie a few times. Yeah, they had a lot of babies was born. I'm a quarter myself, or this boy who's in. I really should look him up. I have their name and address. Huh?
Quarter means.
The child was born. This couple came from Czechoslovakia, and we became very good friends. I mean, for thousands and thousands of people, I was really good friend with them. But with this couple, was very close, and she had a brother. She had a brother who was a little bit older with me, and he lives now in. I have cards from him.
From where?
After the war, he was right. I mean, he wrote for me to. When he went away to America because they were Czechoslovakia, to Frankfurt, he wrote me a card for my birthday, for my, and he was the quarter and I was the quarterino, how they call it.
Quarter.
You know, I gave the baby and he was
like the bris.
Bris, yeah, it was like a bris, but it was no, yeah.
It was no what?
I didn't socialize as much, but I started to go already, started to be a little bit normal. And then we went.
It's a good thing Uncle Joe was there because otherwise.
Oh yeah, otherwise I would be completely.
Because he cared about you.
It is much and everything.
For that?
Yeah.
Of course. But
yeah, but it's anyway from there. Then we was trying to go from Bergen-Belsen. They said from the English. We went to Bergen-Belsen because they said that the English zone, it's easier to come to America, or you could go to France. Right. But France was very strict that time. They didn't want to take no refugees. You had to have really close relatives to go to France. They were very strict.
Yeah.
And then we decided that we're gonna go to the American zone. So then we went to.
Now where were you then? You were near
Bergen-Belsen, and then we went to.
Which is where now? East, west, east.
No, it's West Germany.
West Germany.
Yeah, it's near Bremenhaven. Yeah, and then we went to Frankfurt.
Which is.
Not Frankfurt really. We went back to Frankfurt. No, that couldn't be. We went to a lager near München. I think.
Yeah.
And those things I really don't remember. Joe probably remember better.
Well, I can.
No, from there we went to Frankfurt. No, we went to Frankfurt, and near Frankfurt we went to a lager. Wasn't Frankfurt because you had to have more money for that. We was in what do they call it? Bentheim. They call it Bentheim. The city near Frankfurt, and that's where we went in a lager, like a school building. That's where we was living. And I remember it's a lot of couples already started.
You want to read the end part of that?
I don't have, I wrote it, and that's all I stopped it.
You didn't read the end? Did you read to the end yet?
That was the end there. I couldn't go any further.
No, you can read the end.
Yeah, but no, it's nothing there anymore. No. Anyway, from there, and then we was there for a few years in Frankfurt.
Few years?
Sure, I was altogether 5 years in DP camp, doing nothing. I was lucky, I knew how to sew. I was just sitting like this all the time to worry about the quota system. When I came here, I couldn't even walk straight. I used to walk like this with my arm. So Savtah used to say, says, here a quota, there a quota, because that's how I used to sit. I used to walk like this on the street.
Can't see.
I used to like this. I used to walk like this. I didn't straighten now. And when I was sitting, I always used to sit like that. So then always says, here a quota, there a quota, Hungarian quota, Romanian quota. Then when we was in Bentheim, Joe started to make papers, Czechoslovak paper, that we was born in Czechoslovakia.
You used to always to walk bent over like this.
Yeah, that's right. And then Joe was people made.
You want to show how? You want to show now how you walk? No, I want to. You want to show you walked. Okay, one sec. This will.
you missing the television? Or
Okay, Ma, do you want to get up and show you your walk? So you.
Yeah, the news again.
No, well.
I'll let Daddy watch. We gonna do. We don't need the TV for this. Leave
What?
just take. We let Daddy watch it.
What?
Leave it for tomorrow.
No, I do it with just without the television, Leo.
Huh?
I do it without the television.
Do what without the television? I just want to see how you walk. Go ahead.
Oh, the clothes like this.
One second.
I never walk like this.
This is no necessary.
Yeah, this is not.
Go ahead. How'd you walk?
I walk like this.
Turn around. Go on this
Worry
side.
about the quotas instead.
Huh?
Worry about the quotas. Zelda said, what quota? Romanian quota, Hungarian quota,
Move back,
quota
move-
in,
yeah.
quota there. And I used to sit always like this, worrying about it. When I came here, I couldn't straighten out.
Huh?
I used to sit like this.
Yeah?
Yeah. Here a quota, there a quota. Zelda used to say.
And how long did that take to change?
Oh, that took a few years. Till you guys, I think, till I got pregnant, then I had my own problem.
Which problems?
No. Okay, stop it so I get all kinds of paper. They had these guys from Czechoslovakia, and they knew how to make false paper and false stamps. That he was born in Czechoslovakia, and then we tried to go with that. Every other few weeks we went in different lager to register in a few lagers.
Yeah.
Joe made it. I didn't like it, but Joe forced me to do it. And every lager you went, they give you an injection every month. They give you an injection before you got your papers, you know,
Right.
for food, the ration. Food ration,
Right.
You had to get an injection.
Yeah.
So I got an injection in bedtime, and other injection next Tuesday I got injection bedtime, and another injection on Thursday on the 1st of the month.
Right.
You know, on Thursday,
Right.
and another injection in another place. And one day I come home, and I see a big spot.
Right. Where they
On
gave you a
my-
shot.
No, not where
Where?
they give me my
Where?
spot.
Where?
Probably all the injection.
Where did you see spot?
On my here, a
On your
big
hip? Your
black spot on my. So it was, you know, from all the different
Yeah.
too much injection, but
Mhm.
we had to get it because otherwise we wouldn't get the ratio.
What kind of
And we
rations
had-
did you get?
We get like powdered milk and the instant Nescafe
Mm-hmm.
and chocolate and jellies, jellies.
Mhm.
And this we used to give it to the Germans, and
Yeah.
the Germans would give you money for it, you
Right.
know. So that's how we made. And I eat up a lot of coffee. I used to eat it up with sugar.
Did
and
it make you
mix it
sick?
with
Sugar, coffee, and what?
Sugar, coffee,
Powdered milk?
and powdered milk.
Yeah.
And that's what I used to eat until I got very sick.
How
and
sick
a
were you?
German doctor, I don't remember what he told
Well, what
me.
did you
but
feel? I mean, after.
I had terrible fever
Right.
and weakness, and my heart was beating like a hammer,
Mhm.
really hard.
Yeah.
And
Philibrate.
then, yes,
And then what?
that was the time when the German doctor told me that your heart is very small. You have to go and learn swimming to
Mhm.
enlarge your heart. And
Right.
he told me, what did you eat? And I told him he wanted to know what is my favorite food.
Hmm.
So I told him this, mocha
Right.
mixture what I made, that's what I used to love.
Hmm. And so did that helped you when you stopped
Yeah,
eating
but
that?
meantime, with all these false paper, we still didn't get to America or to France or no place. We,
Didn't help.
Didn't help. So after 5 years, in 1949, I was so disgusted already. I said, if one boat will leave to Canada or someplace in Monday, another boat will leave to America Tuesday, I will go to Canada. So then they were looking for people to go to Canada, dressmakers.
Mhm.
And I signed up, and then they took a test. If I am really a dressmaker, they give us a try.
Right.
You know, we had to sew and we had to fill out papers, and I had to show what I could do, and that's how I came to Canada. But I didn't know that I signed a contract to
Yeah.
Canada.
Right.
that I had to be there 2 years exactly from the date. But anyway, before I came to Canada, Joe introduced me Daddy and invited Daddy over to that time we lived already in Frankfurt, Germany, and invited Daddy over for supper. I had stuffed cabbage, and Daddy liked the stuffed cabbage, and he told Joe that
How did you feel? How did you
he
feel?
liked me.
How did you feel? How did you feel when you saw that?
Oh, when I saw Daddy, I really liked him. I used to go by that time. I used to go with another guy. He was religious.
You said you
boy
saw
that
Daddy.
time.
You said you saw Daddy before the war. You
Before
said. When was
not
this?
before. Yeah, just before the war in
When-
Budapest. Now that I remembered.
In
Yeah,
retrospect.
I remember
in
in
retrospect,
1942 when I went to the Jewish agency in Budapest to
How-
get a job.
How were you in Budapest in 1942?
How old I?
No, how did you get there? When?
Oh well, I went there to because I learned how to dressmaking. So I went and worked there in a salon. I used to work for a very famous salon where they used to work for actresses like
I see.
Karen
Your
Katalin
mother
and,
sent you.
My mother didn't want me to in a village. She wanted to be in culture, be in a city. And,
42.
For 1942.
You were 18 years old.
Yeah, and I went
Your
there.
mother's-
Lots is
Where
supposed
did you
to be
live?
them.
Where did you live?
We lived with Joe, was living there too, and together we rented a apartment where, not an apartment, a room, by boarders, by somebody where Joe used to, where Lotsie used to live. I forgot their name. Some of them live in Canada, and that's where we used to, pay. Joe helped me. For my money, what I made, I couldn't
So you lived
pay.
with. How did you live again? Where did you sleep?
We lived in one room, and
With
that's
Joe?
where we used to with Joe, and that's where we used to sew. We used to cook. I used to cook for Joe,
Yeah.
and we used to eat out sometimes. And
Schlischkel?
I used to make the schlischkel on a pizza board in a bedroom. And Joe used to invite his friends. Some of his friends is a cantor here. I still remember. I think he just passed away. And Joe
So-
even used to invite his friends over for eating schlischkel. I had one dish from that. Used to make a big pot of schlischkel and at night
Describe
they used to have
schlischkel. Describe
polashka.
schlischkel. Schlischkel is a dough with.
A schlischkel is a dough, potato and flour.
Yeah.
And
Spices.
yeah, sliced and with breadcrumbs, crispy. I think it's still Joe's favorite food. He goes sometimes to Queenstown.
So how did you see Daddy at that time? You went to Jewish agency for work or something?
Well, that was in 1942.
42, yeah. And how
I
did you see
remember
Daddy?
he was a young man and he was a installator and he was
Still a
looking
plumber?
for a
He was looking for a
installer.
job.
And he was looking for a job, and I know that I saw the picture when we got married, and he was telling me, I remembered.
You saw
I
him.
saw him, I said, very handsome guy, That was in 1942, but anyway, going back where we was. Before I came to Canada, 2 weeks before I met Daddy.
2 weeks or a month?
About 2 weeks. It wasn't more than 2 weeks. I met Daddy, he came over to the house for supper. We rented like
What
a
did you
room
make?
there.
What did you make for
Well,
supper?
but 3
Stuffed
months
cabbage.
don't do it.
No, we
3
don't
months.
make it like that. Wasn't 3 months. About maybe a month.
Okay,
Alright?
a month.
Was about a month, and I already had my papers to go, and I had the date to go from Bremen. I went.
What did you make for dinner?
Stuffed cabbage.
Yeah?
Yeah, and Daddy liked it, and he told Joe that he likes me, and then with Joe we was talking. I couldn't sleep all night to think it over. It's alright, what's gonna be? We don't have nothing yet. How could you get married? And this.
You're already talking
and
about
Joe's-
married, and you only met him once?
No, maybe once. And then he came over every time after
Uh-huh,
work. Daddy wasn't working not too far. Was working in the same company. Joe was working there too. But I don't know what Joe was doing, but Daddy was doing plumbing. He made pretty good living there compared to others. I mean, other people made black market. Daddy was working with his hand. And but anyway, I had my paper already to come to America, and from Bremen, from Bremenhaven, yeah. And then Daddy was begging me, oh Gitzam, please don't go. I wanna go to Israel. And I wanna go to Israel. Then I was writing letter for his brothers, for his sister, for David. I was writing letter, and then Daddy wrote a letter for David. What shall I do? I met this girl, and I really like her, but she wants to go to America. I want to go to Israel, but I couldn't face to go to Israel. To
Why
First
not?
of all,
Why not?
I was yearning for my family. You know, my sisters. I didn't see them, and aunt
They're
and
in America.
uncle. They were in America, and I couldn't face to go to Israel and still a war. You know, it was wartime. In Israel, we always heard people was killed, and I couldn't face another war. And besides, I couldn't face it that I go to Israel and maybe I'm not going to make a living and depend on other people. You know, it was a terrible feeling to even think about it. I felt I come to America, I have my sisters there, I go to Canada, at least we'll be closer to sister and I will be able to make a living. I just couldn't face to go to a country where you have to wait till from America getting package, because I tasted that already in Hungary. And they used to send the packages of little clothes and little this and that, and it meant so much.
Are you sorry? Are you sorry you came to America?
I'm not, but I came to the very hard way here too, not like most people. I came to Canada, and then Daddy came to America. He was engaged, and then he couldn't, I couldn't come over here. I had to wait exact on the date, February 31st, I think. No, January 31st. I had to exactly, on that day, I was allowed to come to, I was expecting you already. And when Daddy
I
came.
could have been a Canadian, huh?
Yeah, I was a Canadian.
You mean you were married in Canada or in
Sure,
Detroit?
we married in Canada. Yeah, in Windsor we got married. Because the lawyer said, get married as soon as possible so you'll be able to come over. And I was married already, and I was pregnant, and I couldn't come over to this country. They called me to the immigration office, and they told me that if you step over to the border,
The
never
Canadians
could
told you
come
or the
here.
Americans told you?
They all was together,
Yeah.
the Americans, and in the border house there, right there by the bridge there in Windsor. They took me there and they told me, let me know if I go maybe to Mexico and try to come another way to America. If I step into the soil, I never be able to come back again. It wasn't like today. All these, everybody come. And anyway, that time there, we had a hard time.
Where did you live? What kind of room did you have?
I had in Windsor one room. It was like a border. So the lady was a very nice old Russian couple. And they used to have like 3 bedrooms, and every bedroom they used to have another tenant. And they used to sleep in the dining room. They used to use for sleeping. It was an old couple. And that's how they lived. She used to teach me that song. Oh, Abraham, wie kann das sein? Ich und dir und ich und mir kann nicht beide sein. Zeiste, baden teuer. Haga dir sucht das an den teuer. Ay, Abraham.
Give me Dinah. Give me
Please
Dinah.
can you, I forget. You must go on.
Running on the camera.
Right. Daddy taught me how to smile.
Yeah?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
Daddy taught me how to smile. For years I didn't know how to smile. Then I started to smile, my muscles in my face used to hurt. And then you kids came, and then now with the grandchildren, it's healing a little bit. Never will go away, but
So what do you have to say all this, Daddy? What is your...
what do you say? Yeah, what do you say?
I'll leave it to you.
What do you say? The children, and we should see not as by you too,
I had to
and
go,
then
I had
we
to go
will
to
then
the
happen.
to Canada. They don't let me in. They said I cannot go every day.
He used to come on weekend.
And then well, I said if I come too much, you can come over.
Yeah.
And then
After
I
work
was
they-
going once in a week.
Yeah, after work they
After-
he got a permit after once a week just to come.
Went through to with the bus through the tunnel there.
And
winter.
then
And
we wanted
and
to
your
go
mother-
out
your
someplace.
mother-
We
your mother-
wanted to go to movie. They
your
didn't
mo-
have movies in
your
there. You
mother
remember?
was working piecework,
Yeah.
and she made enough for a mama league, not for she couldn't afford to pay
Let me tell you how
for the
much.
train, for
Let-
the bus. Wait a minute, you don't say nothing. I have to say.
But I have to tell the exact amount. I made $19 overtime, and I had to figure out if I paid 10
And
cents
the
for
guy,
that.
the guy was holding the stopwatch of the
That's right.
of the watch. He was at the working piecework.
Yeah, that's right. They stayed behind me, and that also used to remind me of Germany because they used to stay. It was a terrible thing. They used to stay behind me with
And
your time watch.
I went over there one time. I told him, listen, that's it. You're not gonna use the kids for nothing. You ought to pay them good, or she's not
Well,
gonna
that's
work.
what the average paid in Canada. In America, you could make more money.
Paid
than
nothing for them.
$19 overtime, piecework. And I had to figure out if I should get a salami sandwich or walk home from work. I used to walk to work. but
Instead of the
far
bus.
away.
Instead of the bus.
Instead of the bus, yes, I used to
I
walk.
came to America, and Uncle Louis said, yeah, right now you're coming. I told him, when shall I come? I could come just when they left me. It's not good now. Well, he don't work. But if he don't work, it's nobody work. I told him, listen, I'm gonna work, I told him. The next day, I had a job already. I went to work. How you work?
Went to work in a supermarket.
Supermarket.
In the supermarket, they give you
I
a
asked him,
salami.
I asked him what you have to fix. He said, I fix everything. Locks, electric, plumbing. I know everything. I thought, yeah, you know everything? He said, in a supermarket, go ahead and do it. I was working there a half a day. I bring home a whole package with salami, with bread, with butter, and he gave me a couple of dollars too. I told
And what did
Louis-
Zelda say?
And Louis, Dada wasn't home.
Yeah.
Louis said, no, I put it in the fridge there. Louis comes home. He see the fridge there is full. What happened? Who bring it? If he don't bring food, there was no food. He see the fridge is full.
That's when Zelda said, you see, Ruby
But
just
see-
came to this country and she already
You
filled up the
ask,
fridge.
you ask him, you see, he come, you told him you're not going to have a job. He just worked already. Not like you. Poor guy, he was
Let's not
finished.
question her.
No, I don't
Yeah.
feel bad.
Well,
I feel sorry
anyway,
for him.
those times is over.
And I started work. A man used to come to pick me up every day. He was working by the slum, by the Schwarze. He used to pick me up every day, and I don't have tools. He gave me tools, and I was working there. I fixed up the plumbing, and I told him next week I can work for this money. He gave me more, and then I was working about 4 weeks for him. I told him, listen, I can't work for this money. It's not enough. He can afford to give me more, and then I'll find a job for him.
Could I say something? When you kids was growing up, for me was the most important that you become decent human being.
You ever done or
Because-
just?
Because Hitler wanted to make us animal, and that time that what made me satisfaction, that I wanted to prove it. That after that we could have our children will be
And grandchildren.
decent human being, and the grandchildren decent human being.
You didn't think you'd have grandchildren then, huh?
And the grandchildren and
Great grandchildren?
great grandchildren, they all should be just the good religious people.
Is it on or just fixing something? Huh?
It's on. It's on. It's on.
All right.
And we should see
Okay.
numbers by all of you. That's all. It's, we can't erase what happened, but it will help us to,
But a lot of bother through what I went
yeah,
through.
what we
Went
all
through.
went through.
I don't see. I had to.
I don't know, material things never.
I have to start with the second cycle.
The material things never
I
meant too
don't say
much for
nothing
me.
what I went through and
The what?
I never
Never
care
cared
for
for-
material things. like diamond and people somehow right after the war they care for
We
diamond.
must sacrifice on what we have.
Yeah, just
For the children, we
for the
give it.
children, everything the best, and they should be decent human
I
being.
could
That's
count
what's
how many
important.
times we went
And
to
the
the movies
grandchildren.
since I'm here in America. I could count them with them. Some
No,
Huh?
people.
not that. That's
I could count with the finger how many times we went to the movies with Mama. And we don't care too
somehow
much.
I always was satisfied. I always
Yes,
had
sir.
people in my house, even in Detroit. We always had people,
Yeah,
summer,
they were
winter.
coming,
I remember when, I don't know how I made it, but
Yeah, we have an open house. People come to us all the time.
Rumi's cousin Max was there. Max's wife was there when Mark was a little baby. I still have the picture. Was maybe 2 weeks old. I don't know how I managed with these children without help. And I always had a decent home.
Yeah,
And people always felt good in our house.
We always had a nice home. We were living in the
Daddy's cousin
apartment
Rosie was in my house for a few weeks from Chicago. Irma's daughters used to come every summer. And everybody always felt good. For me, that was important.
See,
the
if
family.
I don't want to live in an apartment. Mama had trouble with going up, but he was weak with with the feet. And that's why I just bought the house. And the other you sing,
We always
look
had
the
a
green, and green has a house.
We always had a
Nobody
house.
has a house. We had
never
right
lived in
away
an
house.
apartment. Never
We had a house right away. We were, it's a year I was working. I bought a house. And was well, I don't make too much business, big business, just middle.
Huh?
We used to dance tango.
Huh?
We used to dance tango.
Well, let's see how you did it.
No, we did not now.
No?
Not tonight. No,
I'm not
shut
ready
it up.
for that.
You never. Well, just give me an idea.
Tango.
What?
Let's do the tango. To
Where
do
in Germany?
The tango.
I wasn't dancing. I'm not a dancer.
A little bit. Yes,
I'm
you
a bit,
did.
I'm not dancing.
Yes, you did a little bit. Come on.
No.
Yeah, all right, Leo.
Get up a second. Let's see how you dance.
No, that's
Yes. Come on, try it.
Not tonight. Didn't have nothing.
We were satisfied what we have.
And we always was able to share it with everybody.
We never had a big eyes like some people.
When people needed medicine, I used to go back from here to Canada.
right.
Because the winter ice,
Right.
snow. You remember when I went back to
We
Canada
have
to
now.
send out medicine?
David was sent us to have a fridge there. We don't had a fridge there, and just an old one. We sent them a new fridge there.
$500 cost that time.
At that time, a lot of money.
Bella was sick and they couldn't
And-
get the medicine
And
for.
Bella was very sick with the kids in Romania. And Moshe was
I
riding
used to
there.
go to Canada, couldn't get the
You can't
medicine.
get the medicine, but the
Here.
medicine is.
I was pregnant with you that time, and I used to go back to
They
Canada
don't sell
to buy
that
it.
here. They wasn't allowed to sell it here. We had to go to Canada to send it from there. Then Canada was allowed it. And we sent the and they're Danny write me Moshe. Yeah, all right. The doctor said such a medicine. Very high could you get such a medicine? And from Canada, and it cost a lot of money their time. And we don't could even further too much. We did the best. We said that this was important for them, and we saved the kids back in their time. But they were very sick. All of us sick. The kids too.
Yeah, all right. Shut it up.
Glad if we could, but
we always sent packages everywhere. Maybe it wasn't that much. It was just $50 and $25, but we managed. Daddy maybe didn't make more than $3,000 a year, but we managed.
I was working private jobs. Every job I could have. I've never lived without a job. If somebody called me night.
And Sunday, Daddy always managed to go to a zoo or to a museum with you kids when you go. When you was little kids. I think you remember the most.
I took every time, even I had just a couple hours. We moved to Detroit. We moved to Detroit to New York. In New York, the kids started the school. Leo went in Shiva University, and he likes it there. And then Mark went too later a year in the Shiva, and he said he likes it there too.
Okay, let's just try going back a little bit. How did you feel when you saw Mommy, Daddy? How did you feel when you saw?
That's a big question.
When I saw Mommy where?
In the first time you saw her.
See, I don't saw her. See, the thing is, I was working for the American Army, And see, there was a company, they were dressed up in black,
Like the army
like a
uniform,
black
but it's
army,
colored
like
black.
color black. And the Jewish agency made it direct, but the Americans said that the Jewish people don't want to work. And they made the company.
I'm asking you, how do you saw when you saw mommy? How?
They want to start it.
Okay.
And the Jewish agency made a company, and it was a big company, but they work in every kind, every.
For the American
for the
army,
American army,
whatever they need.
Whatever they need, they were doing any kind of job. I was in the company. I was from the lager. I come there. Well, they paid good, he said, and I met Joe, and Joe was working there too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
working in the
and
same
I was
place.
working plumbing, and
Mhm.
Joe was helping me there put up some tin.
Yeah.
And then we was talking about this city. He has some sister, his brothers. And the city has a sister, and
Yeah.
he has a sister.
Those are our dividends.
He has a sister.
Where,
The
these?
picture while you was taking those
Yeah.
are the dividend. It's waiting for more
He has
dividends.
a sister. Where she live in Frankfurt the Main.
Your dividends?
Why you going
Yeah,
there?
those are our dividends.
Why you doing?
And we're waiting for more dividend to be posted.
Everyone should talk or should stop.
So how is it to have three?
If you don't show,
Well,
Three
now that
kids.
he's gonna talk.
Yeah, now that he's saying go.
I want to show, I was saying, and then I asked him, he has some sister.
And Joe showed you the
Sure,
picture.
and he said he has a sister, and then I told him you have
Show
a
the
picture.
picture, yeah.
He showed me the picture, and I saw this. He said, oh, this is your sister, and she lives in Frankfurt am Main. I said, when could I see her? I would like to see her. She looks a fine girl. And he said we could go Sunday. Sunday I went over there, and I met her. She was shy a little. I could talk to her, and she was. When I come in, she was moving around like fast, like she's a Wirtschaft. She cooked and baked and everything. She make.
What did you make? What did
She
you eat?
make
Stuffed cabbage?
stuffed cabbage. What else she could make?
I don't think I made anything
She
that.
said
That time
she
he was
was-
lucky we had stuffed cabbage.
Cabbage was a big deal there. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I was eating stuffed cabbage, and I told her. I was talking from where she is, and from many
And
sisters
you always
she
was
had,
talking about
and
Israel.
and then I said, and then.
If I want to go to Israel, you always ask me. That was the first thing if I want to go
We
to
was
Israel.
later on, we was talking about Israel. So we was talking. And then I met her next week, then I asked her if he wants to go to the movie. We went in a movie. Well, first time I wasn't interested in movie. But here I would go,
Had to go
I have to go
someplace.
somewhere. It's not but to go anywhere. Then she had a friend too. She has the
Odo, a blonde friend, yeah. I used to go with him to theater.
From Czechoslovakia, a tall guy,
Blonde.
a very
I didn't
shy
like him.
guy,
And,
and he was not even a good looking.
No, he wasn't
very,
good looking.
very,
I didn't like
very
blonde guys
poor.
anyway.
He looked very poor. A nice guy. I was talking
What
to
do you
him.
mean poor?
And
He
then-
wasn't a good looking guy,
Then
but he was a nice religious guy that time.
He don't like, well, I come next week again. He
Yeah.
don't like the idea, well, he was coming too. He don't like the
He
idea, well,
he had
probably-
ticket for me for a theater. He came with a
said-
ticket and I said,
he
Odo, I'm
he
not
said,
going
Olga,
with
you're
you.
finished, you wanna go on and she had a ticket, and Olga said,
I'm sorry, I cannot go
I
with
came
you.
before him.
Avrum is here, sorry, I cannot go
I
with
come
you.
before
He says,
him,
how come
and
you didn't tell me?
and,
You have a
and
boyfriend?
he was excited, well, I
He
come,
got very
know,
upset.
He know her a long time, and I just come lately a couple of weeks, and he goes with me. No, but I can help you, I told him, listen, and right now...
We're not going to tell what happened to him after. That's we're not going to tell on
Mary the
the
Shiksa.
tape.
Why you have to talk? I'm not
Yeah,
going to
he
tell
was
it's my
very
business.
disgusted, but he never even told me that he meant to get married, but I
See,
wouldn't
well,
marry him anyway.
I don't
Because I didn't like blonde.
Since then I wasn't seeing him. What has happened
Yeah.
later is not my business.
Yeah.
And I don't see him. He wasn't. He was. I used to see him around. Not lately. He wasn't coming in the place. You know.
Anyway, then
And
then already I got the paper. and I
Joe was
got
coming. Joe was making business. He was drinking coffee. He was busy. Come on, and then we went to a place. We'd have to pick up coffee when they sell it, you know. And I went and then I saw how they sell the coffee. They make good business lately. They were in the coffee business when they sell it for the Germans. And that's what happened. And I was working there by the company.
Yeah, it's what
And
happened.
then later on, she gives the paper. She said she give the paper to go to Canada.
I had already
And
the
I told him,
date. I have a
listen, how about
ticket.
this is before.
Here
And
is
then
the
I told her,
tickets.
how about come to
Here is the
Israel?
tickets.
Why have to
That's
go?
me.
Why have to go to Canada?
Yeah,
And
what
this
is
is
this paper?
what's a big
No,
deal
this
in
one.
Canada? You better off to come to Israel. And we started our
Sure.
life there.
No, this was how Daddy was. I was allowed.
And then-
This
and
was
then-
my paper going to the
To-
border
where?
to go through to Canada. When after I came to America, this was my first paper from Canada.
Point it this
That-
way. Can't see. Just a second.
Then I told Lord,
One sec. Wait.
See, that's why I used to go buy the medicine.
Huh?
With this paper, I used to go and buy the medicine. You have a picture there too.
Okay, can't see it. All right.
All right. This
Then
is my
she
paper.
has a cousin. He was
Oh, Shani.
Shawnee. Then he
Yeah.
was a good friend of me. I was talking. I told Shawnee, listen, I'm gonna become a cousin. I'm gonna go. We had a coffee.
She was jealous too.
We had a
you know
cook.
that?
We
She
had
was-
a cook. We drinking a cook, and this and then I became a cousin in Colin.
Yeah.
Mazel tov.
was
Daddy
number-
gave me a ring
Mazel
and that was
tov, and I
awesome.
gave her a ring.
Mazel tov.
And a wink, and that's it.
Then you wrote for David what you like do. She wants to
See,
go to.
I wrote it there. I sent for David. I was ready to go. But the money what I make good money there. I was working for the
Send out
Germans.
a lot of
From
tours.
the Germans, I get money, and from the Americans, I was doing for the Americans plumbing. I made from both sides good money, and all the money what I get together, I bought tools and machinery, and 2-3 bikes. I sent them to Israel. I went to the consul, to the Jewish agency in the consul. I paid for the transportation, cost me a fortune for the transportation, and they wasn't getting nothing. The all the machinery their time.
Because
they
that time
still
they took away.
They still away everything. And I was writing to David. He got the other things where I sent them a long time ago. And I asked him if he get the things if they arrive or something. He never sent me back nothing. And then I told him, listen.
He didn't want to tell you that he never got the.
I told him I cannot go to Israel. Well, it's happened. I became a husband, and then she went to Canada. And I wait. She gonna
And
send
I
me.
was making papers.
She made me paper from Canada, and happened in Canada.
He went to the consulate.
I went to consulate. The
And
consulate
they didn't let him in.
find out I wasn't intergrant. If somebody wasn't intergrant, they don't live in.
The partisans.
Yeah, so they didn't let him in.
Told-
Because
I
that
don't
time
wanna
they
live-
let in a lot
and I
of
told I was
Ukrainians.
again. I told him, listen, if you don't want in, I don't even want to go in a fascist place. I told him the consul, I wasn't afraid. Told him, then you're a fascist. I told him.
And
I
somehow
don't
it's
wanna live in-
happened
I don't want to
something.
go in a place like this.
In a few weeks, somehow
then
they
I-
could come
and
to
then-
America or dissolve this company. And they came without any problem
I made
to America.
picture,
They
I
didn't
made-
even ask which country he was born, Hungary,
See,
Romania.
I was
So-
working. I was in the Funkastern. I was chief police. I told you once, maybe.
But
you
this
heard
was
me.
not because of that they let you come to America.
Let me finish. You don't know what you're talking about. But this I know, but I don't tell you what happened. He wasn't here. He was in Canada really when I made the picture. Make the.
So what? I just want to. This is. I just want to know what kind of things Mama did in Canada. She worked for sewing.
Yeah.
What? What do you do?
I was sewing. I went to work piecework there too, and I was.
What kind of what do you?
I never worked before on a power machine.
Mhm.
So I went to this place where they were working very fine clothes in Montreal, you know. and I ruined one dress because the machine went fast and I made like zigzag, not straight stitches. And I was afraid to collect my money, so my friend said, it doesn't matter, Olga, even if you ruin the dress, here they have to pay you. Then I wanted to
Why, in Europe they wouldn't pay you if you messed up something?
No. Then I wanted to be closer to Zelda, so from Montreal I went to Toronto. And I was there for a few months. I was living with a friend who I came together with Canada. I met him there, and I had $9 in my coat pocket, sewn in. I was, $20, I don't know what. And the Jewish agents didn't help us in Canada when we arrived. Not like when you come to this country. So anyway, you are on?
Yeah.
Got tired of sitting. So anyway, I arrived to Toronto, and then I was living with, I forget her name. She was a Weiss. Her name was Weiss. I think the family's in bakery or butcher business in Brooklyn and all over, but I could trace them. So anyway, we rented an apartment, and the Jewish agent said, you have some money? I said, I have very little money with me. So as the people, he said, we find you an apartment, but room, but you have to pay, and they find an apartment for us, and we paid like $9 each. Like $18 for
right.
I think for a month it was $18 or a week, I don't know. That's how much was our wages. And we got a room where they used to keep, the man was a carpenter, it was Jewish people, carpenter, and they had a room like a terrace, and with screen, and windows on it, and he used to keep all the wood what left over.
Go ahead.
All the wood in there, winter time they even used to cook with wood. That's how they were saving money.
Right.
And give us a cover, and we used to, they had to warm up each other because it was so cold in that place. And only once a week we got warm water to bathe. And it was a terrible winter, that's very cold. And I didn't have the right clothes until Zelda came and she gave me her boots. I couldn't afford to buy rubber boots. She gave me boots and a winter coat, and because it was very cold in Toronto.
Could you?
And anyway, I started to work there in a shirt factory where we used to make only color. Colors. One person was making the color of the shirt, the other person made the cuffs for the shirt, other put in the sleeve. So there I already practiced, and I learned how to use the power machine. And then Zelda said, why don't you come to Windsor, a little closer, it's easier for me to get there. And then I moved to Windsor. Louis has a landsman there, and I used to tow was their name. They had 2 children. I used to live in their house. They were very nice people. And then I got very sick.
From what?
I was blown up. They kept on telling me, oh, there must be something wrong with you. And
what did you think was wrong? What did you feel?
What it was, and all of a sudden once I went to the bathroom and this big tapeworm came out.
Yeah.
So I ran to the landlady. I mean, she was landsman for Louis, so they used to be good friends. I was like a mother for me. So I said, I was really scared. I said, I don't know what came out, but a big white, and it's moving around. So she came in right away, and then she called the doctor, and the doctor said it was tapeworm, and then they gave me medicine from, it was very expensive medicine. It was that time. It's made from the keyboard.
What?
He helped me over.
So why didn't you kiss?
Good. Anytime. He helped me get over all those things. I don't, not over, but to heal all that. You just have to see Nahas Bayu and all.
So how do you feel, Daddy?
I feel fine.
Mommy?
One of you.